Hello, welcome to my channel. Antoinette here, and I am expanding on that 10 mass market decks where I did the tarot. This is going to be my 10 mass market oracle decks. Perhaps these are more ones with specific use, so this could also fit that hashtag ItTakesAVillage to understand Oracle. I made the extra bit up there. So let's get going. My first one out is Soul Cards 1 by Deborah Chapin, and these are a fabulous intuitive deck. So these ones are in here because the purpose they serve is to read intuitively and to push that ability. It comes in a massive box, and then this one comes inside it, so I've thrown the other box away. It doesn't have any instructions really on how to read the cards because, as I've already said, you have to read them as they come out to you on a daily basis, so they will change. The cards here are really beautiful. I think it's called touch drawings. There is a Soul Cards 2, which has purple backs because these ones are blue. I don't have that one yet. I think I've talked about it before, where I said I feel this one is a cerebral deck and the purple back is a feely deck, because I don't have... my feelings are kind of separate to my emotions, should we say. So I have a little brick wall there. I understand this more than I do the other deck. And that would be something to pull out really to force me to do that. But I get more from this than I do the other. And it's just how I work. That's what happens when you're an air sign or a double air sign with a sensible earth in it. So... this is the Soul Cards 1. I can't remember how much these are, but everything I've picked as my mass market decks, again, are readily available from mass market producers. And when I say that, I am thinking like Amazon, not indie decks or independent creators here. So I know that most of these should still be readily available to get. So that is my intuitive deck. If I want a deck for something to do, so something that gives me a bit extra, I like to use the Everyday Witch Oracle. It comes with a little book, much the same as, so I've got pages pinned ready for the cards to go there. And it's in Elements, and it is by Deborah Blake, art by Elizabeth Alba. Has these backs, and it's nice big kind of, let's just take that out of the way. So it's a nice big oracle deck. It's got big colourful pictures. I would only pull one card from this deck if I was using it as an oracle, kind of in a wrap up to reading. And when I say use it for something to do, in the book for each card there is a suggested activity. So if you're really pushed for something to do and you want to connect to your practice or nature, then I suggest, you just pull a card randomly and have an activity to go and do. But I think the images are just lovely. Pretty inoffensive, I think. Yes, they've got hats on, but that's what I love about Everyday Witch Tarot as well. And I know I didn't show that in my 10 decks yesterday, so I felt this one had to get mentioned. So this is my mass market deck, which gives me things to do. Practice makes perfect, so to speak. So I recommend that one if you're looking for something to connect you into your practice and you don't know how. Now, connecting to the moon is Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. She does write really good guidebooks, so I do recommend them. It's a nice little guidebook, compact, got tiny coloured pictures, and it does the moon phases in here. So if you're wanting to learn about the moon phases, the moon names, it does have them in here. So you have like the blue moon, lunar god, long night moon, the beaver moon, harvest moon, hot moon. So the names of the moon are in there. You've got your snow moon, your waning and waxing crescents, your waning and waxing gibbous. Is that right? Waxing gibbous, waning gibbous. No, it's probably waning gibbous and waxing. Anyway. So you've got those. Oh yeah, there we go. Waxing Gibbous, I am right. It's been a little while since I pulled this one out. So it just does work you through. You've got your first quarter, and so on and so forth with that deck. Because I'm explaining it terribly, it's probably much easier for you to see. So these are the backs, and the artwork again is gorgeous. And on each card you have the moon phase. So this one here is Waxing Gibbous 2, and the word for it is fear. Here we have waning gibbous and self-reflection. The lunar god, which is the masculine on this one. The blue moon, which the unexpected, hence that phrase, once in a blue moon. Here we have the harvest moon for fruition. So it helps you to also understand, I think, where the names of the moons may have originated from. We've got Queen of the Moon, sovereignty. Waxing Gibbous 6 is for action, time to take action. The Waxing Crescent 3 is for growth. I think that's another lovely kind of card there. The Waning Gibbous 5 is resilience. And we have the Waning Crescent 2, which is resistance. So I will stop reading out all the words. But oops, yeah, I think it's a really nice deck for kind of getting to grips with the moon phases. And you can put that on your altar or on your like meditation space, and you can just flip through, keep it in order, and you can flip through the moon phases, and just to help you understand how the moon works. And I think that's something that I have heard other people do as well, so I'm not alone when it comes to that. And that's where I use decks for teaching myself. So when you follow that through for a while, slowly those practices will sip into your subconscious. So that's my how to follow the moon. Next will be how to understand astrology. So Astrocodes is the deck that I picked. There's so many on the market, I really couldn't decide. It's a packed book, jam-packed. It's got spreads inside it as well. I have tried a couple out. I haven't spent a lot of time with this deck. I've just done a few of the spreads and sometimes pull a card just because. But this deck is by Heather Rowan Robbins, and the artwork is by Lucas Lua de Souza. And the backs are the compass and the cards. So you have the name and then a keyword. So Juno is for partnership. Your 11th house brings you community. Chiron is for healing. We have the solar calm, which brings clarity. Uranus, change. We have the retrograde, which means time to review. When we're in Aries, we have the action. If we're in our first house, we have arrivals. 10th house, we have authority. Progressions means journey. Capricorn brings achieve. When we are in a debilitated state, we have discomfort. Imam Koli brings in root. The 9th house brings in exploration. The midhaven brings in pinnacle. Libra brings in balance. But that gives you enough, I think, of what's going on here. So beautiful cards. And again, you can use that probably alongside your moon phases. So as your moon is moving through, you could also use these to flip through the houses that the moon sits in. And they'll probably work really well together. But it's not something I've started doing yet. So that would be my deck for learning astrology. Now, let's just get this one out of the way. So this one has mixed reviews. It's, yeah, I think it's the first Oracle deck I ever owned. So I connected to it pretty strongly. So that's why it's here, because this one is a solid reader for me and it does give me good messages. I use it for my year ahead. Now, when I learn things, I write into the book and I add to it. So I learned about the drum that's been portrayed on here but not explained. So I have written what I've learned about that drum from somebody who taught us about it. She's called Emmay, and she taught us about the drum and the meanings on the drum. And so yeah, I just like copy in little bits of information when I need to add to the guidebook, which is missing some stuff. And that's my preference. That's what I've chosen to do, because I contemplated maybe getting rid of the deck, but I couldn't, because it does, like I say, I connected to it. So there's the drum in question, and And if you want to know more about that, if you go to Inlay's channel on YouTube, and then you can see, as she explains it much more beautifully and eloquently than I possibly ever could, and about her tribe and how it connects to them, and all the pictures and depictions on it. So this one is split up into different parts. You have like guardians, you have people that you would, oh well, not archaic. You know the word I mean? That word begins with A. Archetypes, there it is. So you have like your archetypes: peacekeepers, seers, stargazers, oracles. You have like animal guides that you might have on your journeys. You have seasons in here. There are symbols. Yeah, so like, you know, have your bee for summer. So I quite like it for that reason. And I will leave that there. So this is just one that it'll be a forever, I'm afraid, for me. But one that I get to expound on. So actually, it's an oracle deck that has taught me something, which I think is quite cool. So I have my teacher, if you like. Next, one that I didn't ever expect to like is the Witch's Oracle by Sally Morningstar, illustrated by Danuta Meyer. This one connected to me in a way I never expected it to. So this is why this one is here. It has been trimmed. It does have the purple star on it. I have edged it in different colour blues. And this one, actually, sometimes I can use this to do a full reading, so I can like put it out and get a story from the cards. And there are some spreads in the guidebook that you can use as well. But you have your kind of keyword and energy, and then it has some other kind of aspects to the cards that's written in the book. And if you've seen me talk about this deck before, you'll know that I have added or changed, no, what am I trying to say? I have written the guidebook into a little book so that I can carry it around with this deck and not have to carry the box. It's the one of two only oracle decks that I don't carry in a box, and there is my book. And there is the entire card meanings written out into my book. So I have the name, what it is, the keywords, the key messages, and then the kind of message that comes with them on the back. That one has a pouch, because that's how frequently this one actually comes out to play. Right, now, when I am following seasons, so a seasonal kind of deck, I use this one, although this one I actually use all year round, so I can't say it's seasonal. I'm going to put this one here as well, just as a either one. So these two resonate with me the most. I'm not interested actually in getting the deck that's just been released until I see more of it. And the Yule one I never use. In fact, I'll probably rehome that one at some point. So this one does get used, but not as much as this one, which is why I'm going to keep it to this one. And these are the Seasons of the Witch Oracles by Rockpool Trading, illustrated by Gyada Rose, and in conjunction with the creation from Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz. Comes with a nice big book. It's a nice muted, moody kind of deck. Has backs, has gilding, you know, pretty gorgeous. It is glossy. I like the words, I like the little rhymes, but I do need to delve into the book usually to get more from the message. I don't always get what I need from these. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So it really does depend on how the tarot reading's kind of gone when I finish up with one of these. I have used them to do a complete spread as well. And weirdly, if it's around like kind of a moon practice or something, when I pull these, they do sort of match, as you'd expect, with what's going on around me in life. So they kind of mirror what I'm thinking about doing or what I'm about to do, which I find quite interesting, especially around Halloween, where we had lots of kind of extra energy about in the house. They seem to tell me exactly what I was suspecting, really. So that's my kind of seasonal connection. Then I have my inner workhorse, so Les Vampires, by Lucy Cavendish, and the artwork, of course, is by the wonderful Jasmine Beckett Griffith. So the book to this is really good. These are the backs. This is the matte version. I believe there's a glossy version. I don't know which way around they go, whether this is second edition, the glossy one's first edition. I'm really not sure. So we have keyword, and then we have some kind of a couple of words to link to your keyword on each card. And the pictures, generally, most of the time for me, are just beautiful pictures. Sometimes they give me a bit more into the meaning, but usually it's predominantly the kind of keyword and what's on the bottom, and then the guidebook that provides me with the real clarity of what's going on. The artwork helps, because I do really enjoy the artwork. So this will just give you an idea of some of the cards here. I think they're quite beautifully coloured. Something about the dolls with the big eyes. I think it's because it's kind of a era that I grew up with. There was paintings on our walls, and we had the Sarah somebody, strawberry shortcake type bedding and curtains, giving away my age. The Love Is, the Kiss, all those sorts of pictures on the walls growing up. So this is this one for my what's going on inside. So this is my inner landscape, and I have talked about that before. So this one gives me an idea of what I'm missing inside that's perhaps going on, and I'm just not really aware. Like perhaps my hormones, my mood, and then I have the outer landscape, which is going to be the Shadows of Light by exactly the same people, Lucy Cavendish, and artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. This one gives me like an outside view, an external view of what's going on. So we have the book. So I like this one. I have a couple of other decks from the pair of them, but these are the two that I prefer. These are my preferences. So this one, as you can see, is glossy compared to the other deck, and the cardstock feels a bit different, a little bit thinner. So you have your word for the card, or your words for the card, and then you have a little kind of saying. So the three fates is what comes around. We've got Amara, the Menun is Aloha Healing. We have the Faceless Ghosts and the Haunted Girl, which gives us ghost people. So with that one, you could be like, what am I not seeing around me? We have the Angel of Alchemy and Miracle. We have the Sewer Mermaid with Your Sensuality is Beautiful. And then we have Poe. Along came an angel with their little candy canes. With the Snow Angel, the signs are within you already. We have our Strangely Lonely, Fairy for the Highlands, the Lady with the Bosch Egg, Ghosts of the Past, the Two Little Witches. So the witches in this deck bring quite some strong messages when they come out. Our Winged Seer, Clockwork Pumpkin, our Nautilus Princess, Violet Duchess, Sea Beacon Fairy, and then we have three Witchy Sisters. We'll end there. So yeah, so they bring some really good messages. Like I think it's these guys' suggestions about cleansing your house when energy is a bit funky or stagnant. That's what I mean about the outer landscape, what's affecting and going on around you. And then my last two. So I have another teaching deck. So this one I've talked about. So Making Magic Oracle by Priestess Moon, Rockpool Publishing. This is the round version of the deck, not the little square deck, because I wanted the book. The book gives you a little bit of information about how, so we've got the symbol history, divination, and then I'm using it to manifest. So I liked that. That's why I bought this. This bit of information here is already on each card, and I believe that's the same with the smaller version of this. And there are about 4 less cards in this deck, and I don't know which ones are missing, but 4 are missing from this deck. It does come in this nice little box, and it's gold and black because those are her manifestation colours. So we have the backs. I've explained I don't use this for shuffling and pulling for readings. I use this for sitting in my meditation space when I want to bring something in. So if I want to bring in insight or good luck, I might pick, you know, the star. We have like Magick there. If you wanted to bring in, you're feeling in need for extra protection. Perhaps you wanted some dragon energy or fire energy, or you've got an interview coming up and you want to shine. Asking for a sign, maybe. Perhaps you're going on a journey. So there's lots of really useful ones in here. Want to have a really good night out, or confidence, something prosperous to happen. You want to work with the elements, a little bit of fairy magic. Bringing up your vibration, working with the labyrinth there, or the Troy stone, the tree of life, wisdom, making good choices in life, perseverance, you will get there, and the festival, and there's more, plenty more in there. So I think you can see why I like those and why I use them. And as a oddball, that deck led me to this one, which is again by Priestess Moon, and it is the Enchanted Unicorn Oracle. I used this throughout summer and Easter because the colours were so amazing. It comes with a book, little coloured pictures, and in the book, on each card, there is a symbol, and those symbols link to this deck. So if you wanted to use the symbol that's in the card, you then see what it says in the deck, because this deck doesn't tell you about the symbols. The symbols are there if you want them for a little bit extra. And then you've got your unicorn magic message there. So not all of them have the same symbols, they have different symbols. Although every single symbol I'm flashing out right now seems to have the same on it, or it feels like the same symbols. But you do have your symbols in the cards, and you can work with those. So I've never noticed that before. Maybe they are all the same. I thought they were different. Oh, silly, silly, silly. They're all the same there, but on the card they have different ones. Wakey, wakey, Tony. Okay, so here are the backs, here are the fronts, and this would be my outsider in the world of Oracle Village and teachers. So my outsider, you have your word at the top, your number, you have your magical symbol, and then you have your little kind of message on the bottoms, and then you have the book to give you even more into them. And I've used this to help me draw as well, because as many of you know, I use my cards as muses. So I have drawn a few of these into my journals when I've used them. And I really quite like this one. So if you want something colourful and bright and special and magical all at the same time, this is it. This is the Enchanted Unicorn Oracle. And it does give sensible messages, okay? So it's not all airy-fairy pie in the sky, which is the other thing I really liked about it. So you do get very sensible messages with this deck. That's it. That's my 10. Do you have any of these? I know some of you are probably expecting me to show a couple of other decks, but because they are indie, they're not here. So I might do an only 10 indie deck creation, but I don't want to be mean and, you know, miss out all of these other mass market decks. So that's it for me. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.